Facebook. Now we're underway. Hi, it's Bernard Slade, and thanks for joining me on Facebook and YouTube Live. And thanks as always to the sponsors. Always write them down because it's important to mention them. Cornerstone Business Solutions, Cleveland Systems Engineering, Advanced Utility Solutions, Smith & Friends Estate Agents, Galaxy Blinds and Interiors, GRS Insulation, Heroes and Legends, Dovecot and TGM Cars. The team today for the FA Cup game against Blackburn Rovers, obviously both these championship in the championship. The team was Glover in goal. There was Engel, Clark, Edmondson, Dick Steele, McCabe, Belazer, Gilbert, McGree and Hamilton and Bazog. On the bench, Connor, Vanderbilt, Fry, Hackney, Latilaf, Foz, McCormack, Matthews and Palmer. What game did I see? I'm going to be honest. It just confirmed what I've always believed, or this season. We have just walked out the competition without putting up a fight against Stoke in the League Cup after beating Leeds 3-0 down there. And then today was shambolic. It just confirmed that this season we're not interested in the Cups. It's a waste of time going, waste of time watching. I was actually bored. I thought it was disgraceful, the performance we put in. There was no fire in the bellies. There was no tempo. It was a shambles. It was a shambles. Now I'm sitting with lads who played for Middlesbrough as well, and we played in cup. I played in cup competitions and we were crap and get knocked out of the competition. But it wasn't because of the lack of effort or because we were playing shadow teams or inferior sides. We played with full strength teams. Sometimes the opposition were better and they beat you. But going to the game today, it was an insult to anybody with an ounce of football and intelligence. Disgrace. Can't defend it. Now it's that old chest that, we're out 2 cups and we'll concentrate in league. What a load of nonsense. You've been hoodwinked. I've said it for years. It's absolute nonsense. Today is no betting on the league. We will find out. You know, look at, was it last year before? Last season, rather. Not the year, last season. Chelsea. We played with a great game against Tottenham, and then we played Chelsea in the semis, and then the wheels come off down there and we get absolute trounced. But that was exciting, that was good. The fans travelled in their droves, got behind the side. But today was embarrassing. It was boring Borough. That's what we were today. I sat there, and do you know how bad it was? There was Borough fans who I see week in, week out, not people jumping into the cup competition. There was a lot of new faces there today, and I get it. I think the tickets, as far as I know, were £18 for adults, or if they've been season tickets, £18, which is good, I think, in the modern day. And I think the kids were a fiver. But there wasn't a lot. I think it was about 14,000 there if we're lucky. But I heard hardened Borough fans that I see going league games saying, with 5 minutes to go, I hope we don't get a goal. We don't deserve it. It's Baltic and it's boring. I don't think I can suffer another 30 minutes of this before we get to penalties. So I have to say, cannot defend the indefensible. Anybody that went to the game today and seen anything attractive, I thought Gilbert and young McCabe done well. I do think those 2 kids done well. Big Clarky tried his best, but the rest all over the pitch, terrible. I've never seen such a. It was arguably one of those games I just wanted it over and done by, and get home and get away from it. Just nothing to say. It took us about, with all this tip-tap passing again, we were I talked about slow and laboured. Today, we were like slow motion. You know, you put your telly and you can go slow-mo, and then you quicken it up. Well, we were in slow-mo motion for 90-odd minutes, 93 minutes. Just under 17, they must be adding people on. I never seen that. And I'll tell you what, the fans always get behind the side, but they were flat today. Flat, but there's nothing to shout about. So, and the funny thing about the back, my terminology when messing about the back, was it 0-0 at the time? Yeah, it was, dear God. Glover got the ball, slipped. The guy took it off him. Glover's lying in a heap. He goes round him, and he missed it. I don't know how he missed it. It was nearly impossible to miss it, but he did miss it. And then they went about 3 times 1-1. I reckon I'd have scored today for them. Side foot finish, bottom right hand corner, they were missing the target. But the slow, laboured, predictable passing, pass, up, cut, back, boring. And today, we got what we deserved. I always say, in life, if you put half a shift in, you deserve to, well, get half the money and lose your job. You have to be, whatever your job is, you need to get your full whack. You're in the job to fully commit. I never seen any players fully committed today. Well, I mentioned the two young lads, McCabe and Gilbert. I thought they were. The rest, no. And if you were at a game of day and you're witnessing the same as me, well, if you're witnessing something different, please let me know, because I'd like to know what you're drinking. We know the squad's not strong enough, Bernie. Well, we know that. So we know it's not strong enough, and we know we've got injuries. By the way, the team of day, I'm looking at it here again. So Glover's played he's had a couple of clean sheets in 4 or 5 games. Engel, obviously injured, but he came back. He's first team. Clark is the first team. Edmondson's first team. Dick's still at the minute because Ayling's out. He's first team. Belaza's first team. I wouldn't say if everybody was fit to be in there, but he is first team player. McGree's a first team player when fit. And Big Barzog, he dips in and out. So we didn't have a poor team. It was a rank poor performance. There was a mixture. But we're playing a team that is on a par with us. And the championship, they're a championship side. They made changes. Young Pears wasn't in goal. I thought he was, but he wasn't. They made a few changes as well. But if you half hog it, you deserve to get knocked out of the competition. I say Newcastle United, I put it on my social network last week, Newcastle United, our enemy, our opponents, our neighbours, up the road, every game in the cups, League Cup or FA Cup, full house. Why? Because they would turn up to watch the grass growing. No, because up until now, the manager has played a full strength team. I think in the League Cup, which they are now 2-0 up in the second leg of the semi-final, and they are set to go through to the final. They'll beat Arsenal at St James's. They told him to shreds. He plays, and they're 5th in the Premier League. And are you telling me Newcastle don't want to finish in that European spot? Of course they do. Is that the be all and end all? Probably. But he's saying, no. I'm going to, Eddie Howe's saying, I'm not doing what every other sheep-like figure does. I'm going to keep the same team. Now, tomorrow they play, I don't know who they play. They play some, is it non-league team? Can't remember the name. They can change it tomorrow. Of course they can. They could probably pick 11 fat Geordies out from behind the goal to beat the team tomorrow. I don't even know the name. Can't remember the name. So, there's times and places. We're playing a team that's in the championship. Why don't we play Latty Laffers? And the game against Cardiff was poor. We only get a point against the second worst team in the division. If the aim's to get back to where we want to be, why don't we keep the same team? And say, come on, Latty Laff, get another goal. Come on, you do this. No. Well, Vinny, that was total Tommy Tit rhythmical for Keith Williams. They all need to hang their heads in shame, even Carrick. No excuses today. It's a cop-out. We're playing this team and we get beat with Concentrating League. I've heard it for years. We'll do this and we'll not take a cup. We've been once, and I've said this before, we have been promoted once in 15 years. The majority of years we've been knocked out of cup competitions early doors. It is no bearing on the league whatsoever. It's an excuse, it's a cop-out, and it's a farce. And people buy into it, because the more they tell you, the more you believe it. What frustrated me was full week to prepare for this game. Yet last week, Belaza's set pieces were awful, yet he was on them today. Scott 94, fair point. There's come a time when somebody's not doing it to say, look, you need to hand over to somebody else. It's like if I take 4 penalties and miss them, then, well, I would miss 1 penalty and say somebody else deserves to take it. Not because I've lost my bottle, but I just think, I missed it. If a guy like Belaza last week against Cardiff has 5 duff free kicks in succession, or set pieces, free kicks or corner kicks, there must be a time you go, you know what, somebody else take it. No positives to take from that, Bernie. This is for Phil Hutton. Shows we're out, second string are not good enough. I've mentioned, but there's a few first team players there that played a lot of first team games. I hate this mentality, tossing off the cups can build up momentum and helps across the board. Well, for me it does. So okay then, we're in the month of January. Excuse me, we're in the FA Cup, so-called the big FA Cup. But it's not the big FA Cup now, because Man United shattered it 25 years ago. They headed to Brazil to play in the World Cup, Championships, whatever it was. That was the start of tarnishing the FA Cup. I used to sit in my council house, my parents' council house many years ago, up in Scotland, and watch the black and white telly and see the FA Cup. Every pitch was full, every pitch had banners and rosettes and these racket things they used to swing. And I used to think, wow, I'd love to get involved in that one. Imagine that. And I did. I played in the FA Cup down here. Never did any joy, never won it. But I watched other borough teams get to finals, FA Cups. But now just to neglect it, toss it off, I call it. And the mentality just come out and... How does month of January, we lose Jones, £5 million. Some people not bothered because Doak's a man. But there's no guarantees Doak's going to be here after January. And Latty Laugh. Knocked out the cup, Jones is gone, Latty Laugh and Co are under the spotlight. Doak, and he's not a property. How does that build confidence? I don't get it. A lot of teams do it, but as I say, Newcastle's not done it. They'll do it tomorrow. As I say, they can put 11 fat Geordies behind the goal to beat that lot tomorrow. As I say, the performance was absolute, atrocious, unacceptable, and not good enough. Middlesbrough are 5th in the Championship. Great position. We're halfway through the season. It's a key month, January. But just about 5-0 against Stoke. Don't forget, we played the young team against Stoke, and Stoke played a younger team. It was the youngest team in their history, and they beat us 5-0. How does that boost morale, confidence for squad? When you've got injuries, you want the guys to shine, you want to encourage them, give them an opportunity. Well, as I say, young Gilbert McCabe for me did well today. Big Clarky done the rest. Never seen it. Embarrassing, Daniel Baz Joseph. He just says, embarrassing. Is this our squad depth? Wow. We be in the Championship again. Get Beleza away from the team was a shambles. What a shambles he is. Joe Henry says, Bernie, do you think there is an unrest in the squad? Well, I don't know. Hiya, Julie. Julie travels all over the country, has done for many years. There's some party here. Spends fortune, gets out of bed early, comes back late at night. I admire her support for the borough. I don't know if there's unrest, but I just see today players were just not at it. There was no fire in the bellies. They looked as if there was an acceptance, just let's get knocked out of the cup. But they're maybe looking in it the way we're looking into it. I go to the game of the day and I'm thinking, there'll be a low crowd, there'll not be a great atmosphere. We're playing Blackburn, probably a draw, go to extra time, penalties. Well, thankfully we bypassed that because I don't think I could have stood another half hour or 40 odd minutes. But today, there was no cohesion, no will to win. There was an acceptance, joy, and I just seen no fire in the bellies. There was no desire to progress and get through. No leaders, the other thing, leaders. And it was like watching slow motion. It was like a training ground game. Yeah, that's a better word for it. Training ground game. Just so I mentioned at the top, just on something down. Don't get me started in Tom Glover, said Daniel. I mentioned the dropping the ball. Totally agree with your analysis of the shambolic performance, Malcolm Taylor. Malcolm, I'm not here for people to agree or disagree. I'm giving my opinion with what I've seen. I was bored. From start to finish, bored. The first shot we had in target, we had loads of possession, done nothing with it. They had possession and created chances. We created very little. And it took us like a good hour, sure it was an hour, and it didn't come from football. It came from Big Clarky, one hoof, right over the top, and Gilbert went in, hit it, and the keeper made a save. I think he made a melee and made a Hollywood save when really he could have caught it. But that was my first effort on goal for me. And that was with a hoof, nothing to do with playing football. I'm losing the patience with Carrick personally. That's with Scott94. Scott94 says, what frustrated me for the week? I've mentioned that, sorry. This slow football be our own downfall. 2-0 to Man City anyway, Bernie. Russell Willis. But that makes me happy, Russell. It's slow, it's predictable, and at times it's naive. Because teams are happy. You have it along the back line. Go for the right, Dick Steele into Big Clarkey to Edmondson to Engel, play it one forward to McGree, bring it back, play it across. Boring. A lot of teams do it. Boring. Andrew Hill, disappointing result for the Borough today against Blackburn in the FA Cup. And do you think, it's Andrew Hill, do you think Carrick will bring in some fresh players to the squad and before the next game against Portsmouth in the Championship? Well, I don't know the answer to that, Andrew, but is it Carrick's place to bring in players? I'll tell you what, if you obviously, whoever watches me on this, and I know there's people watching and listening and get involved, and that was brilliant. I appreciate that, because we're Borough fans, and it's an open, honest debate. It's not a, don't want him on, he's going to say this, none of that. I'm no PC, say what you want, I'll read it out, doesn't matter if you haven't got it, doesn't matter. But this Monday, Total BS Podcast, you just put in on YouTube, Total BS Podcast, or Slavin YouTube channel, and you'll see my chat with Tony Mowbray. I'm just reading that about, we'll Carrick bringing in some fresh players. Listen to Tony Mowbray, a guy who everybody respects, up and down the country. You know, he had that bad do and step back for football, and the love and admiration people showed him, and rightly so, because he's a great guy, honesty, integrity, principles, he's got all the qualities, and he is that. And I went to his house on Friday, and I chatted for 2 hours, and usually I put half an interview on, half the next. I'm putting the 2 hours on. It's inspirational, and he talks about players, and he talks about Sunderland, and he talks about the director of football and the modern footballing side of it, and gives his opinion on it, honestly, openly, and in a likeable way. You know, I would be more, but he's a cool guy, Mugger, and he's full in depth, loves the free game of football, but he talks through all these things that we debate on here regular, and he's a present day manager, manager at Birmingham, coach, Sunderland. So it's intriguing, so try and listen to it on Monday. Well, you don't have to listen, but I'm just saying, if you want to listen to a good interview, and it was more intimate because I'm pally with Mugger. He's my former captain, my former teammate, and I've got that more sort of admiration for him. But I asked him straight questions. We didn't go through them. It was just I jotted questions down, threw them at him, and Mugger just carried on talking. But it's intriguing and inspirational. So please listen if you can. If you want to. Russell Willis says, looking at today, we need at least 4 bodies in through the door. Calamity at the back. Could have been 3 down. We should have been 3 or 4 down there, Russell. There were 3 1-on-1s. 3 1-on-1s, and I think the boy that missed the first one, he was furious with himself. I actually thought it was one of his teammates that missed it. He was doing all this and remonstrating and throwing his arms in disgust, and I thought, oh yeah, he's having a tantrum with his mate missed the chance. It turns out it was him, but he did score. We need leaders. Timmy Leach, top 6 Burnley at the moment. Not in my world, sad to say, we simply not good enough. No fire in the bellies. Well, today there was no fire. There was, as I say, there was an acceptance that maybe the lads are reading papers or looking at social network and seeing the general feeling when they come out today, think, nobody's bothered about the cup. Nobody's bothered. You know what I mean? Bigger fish to fry with the league. Let's concentrate in the league. It's bullshit. Concentrate in the league. What do you mean? This is where you go, and if they're playing inferior side, we play with stronger side, put in a shift, score a couple of goals, get our tails up, we're ready for Portsmouth. Because the last game we won it very good against Cardiff. So this would generate and get us going again, and hopefully more confidence, and maybe score a couple today and take advantage of them playing their kids. But we do it. And again, 5-0 against Stoke, who played a younger team than us, and 1-0 a day. Not good for morale. And we're in the month of January. Boring Borough. Stephen Millard, that's words I use today, boring Borough. As I say, Borough fans, ardent, hard-nosed Borough fans who've been going 30, 40 years, sitting on about me going, with 5 minutes ago, I hope we don't score. I couldn't stand any more of this. It's torture. That was the general consensus and chit-chat. I can't take anymore. Oh, we can't go to penalties, surely. They get it. We don't want to be in the cup. We're tossing it off today. We did toss it off today. Nobody will convince me otherwise. And it doesn't matter. It does matter. We've won one trophy in 149 years. One trophy in 149 years, and we abuse it. I think if you abuse it, well, I don't think, yeah, you should come out publicly, but I think the fans know by now that the majority of teams toss it off in the cup competitions. Doesn't matter. I get the total big boys. Oh, Newcastle are big boys, top 5 in the Premier. You know, but Liverpool, Champions League, to a degree I get that. But us, no. And the thing is, we are not consistent. We're consistent being inconsistent, but we're not consistent. And the only way to get that consistency, in my opinion, is to play the cup games, win the game. Well, you might get beat, but I think there's more chance of winning today if you play a strong team and let it laugh on for the start. Why did Carrick keep messing about the team positions, or does he not know his best team? Stephen Guthrie. You know what, Stephen? I don't think Carrick knows his best team. Well, I watch every game. I don't know his best team. People say to me, what team would you play? I could only guess because I still don't know who's best where, and I don't think Carrick does. But Carrick's just another coach who follows the herd. He doesn't do anything different. Every manager does it. And as I say, I just think certain coaches think they're wizards and they can do anything, will change this and do that. And look at Pep. Oh, he can do anything, getting away with it for years. Now he's hot troubled times. He gets one injury to one of his star players and they can't cope. And he chops and changes it for City, and Carrick does that. But a lot of coaches do that. I'm on Iron Brew, sore throat, try you. I'm not getting sponsored by Iron Brew, by the way. I usually drink water, but I need a bit of fizzy drink. Gary and Samantha Williams, Mighty Borough going up 12th. Is that what the club Borough want? I believe this, Bernie. So yeah, I know the predictive texting. It just says Mighty Borough going up 12th is what they want, and the club Borough want. I believe this, Bernie. If we don't go up this year, when do we go up? We've got a 28-man squad. Everything was geared to get promoted this season. This is the season. This is it. Keep the faith. I've heard the same rhetoric for years and years and years. If we keep Laugh and Doak, I believe we'll finish top 6. If they two go, I think we can kiss goodbye here. I think it's as simple as that. Could you imagine our team without a Doak and without a Laugh? Well, I could. But it wouldn't be positive. Evening, Billy. What can I say? This is for Paul Ronald. Same old. Why we didn't play a full strength team today and maybe try something different. It's different tactics. Blackburn parked the bus today. Well, parked the bus, he scored 1 and could have scored 5. What happens if we managed to get into the playoffs and get Blackburn? Laugh out loud. Hamilton, I thought would be good on the right, but he never wants to try to take on a player and get the ball in. We're rubbish. Today we were rubbish. That's been nice. Yeah, young Hamilton. I don't know if the kid lacks confidence. What is it? Is he 18? He's obviously a Man City player. He's on loan. Any time I've seen him, he's not looked the part. Today he just looked like lacking confidence. You're right, didn't take on an opponent. He's playing wide, didn't take on an opponent. Drive to the byline, get a shot off. Creative. Nah, nothing. So, but saying that, maybe if it was a better team, he might show. That's the thing about playing kids. When you're playing kids in a bad team, it's hard. Well, look at the poor kids that played in the 5-0 humping we got at Stoke City, against Stoke City at the Riverside. What did Mowbray say about the Borough this season? Scott 94. Scott, I'm not revealing anything. Tony Mowbray, Total BS Podcast, this Monday. You can watch it on my YouTube channel, just Bernie Slavin, and you can see it visually because I go to his house and we have a chat. But it's 2 hours, it's in depth. He's been at games this season, I mentioned that. I talked about the Borough and the style and the brand. I talked about this fanning about the back. I asked him what he thinks it is a manager. I'm talking to him the way I'm talking to you. You know what, I was pressing his buttons about directors of football and how much control do you have in your position and other coaches, and it's scary. My mindset wouldn't allow me to deal with that in that environment. No. But anyway, it's intriguing, it's inspiring, because he talks about his issues health-wise and coming back. He also mentions about getting back in the game and how much interest he's had. That was a fascinating bit. I didn't prompt him to say it. I'm not there to do him. I'm his pal. I'm not there to ask questions. He can answer how he wants. But he did mention several clubs have been whatever in sniffing about. Carrick should play poker. This is for Stephen Horn. Should play poker. Really don't have a, because he's not got a clue what he's going to do next. I don't understand why first team players weren't on the pitch. But on the bench, I've written it down. Connor, Van der Berg first team, Fry's first team, Hackney's first team, Latty Laugh, they come on. Foz came on. Foz never kicked his ass. Guy next to me went, he's my favourite player. I said, when did you see him? A year ago. What are you on about? And people, I don't get the Foz thing. But the other guy on the other side, he says Foz is an out-and-out centre-forward. And this guy, I'll tell you who it was Lee Turnbull. Lee Turnbull played for the Borough 86 squad with me. He's been around scouting and for other clubs, and he's watched Foz, and he says he's a centre-forward. Well, not at Middlesbrough, he's not going at Middlesbrough. McCormack was on the bench, Matthews and Palmer. I thought we'd sign young Palmer for Chelsea. I thought, wow. Total garbage, total nonsense saying, resting. Yeah, this is for Leslie Coates. He needs to tell the fans, we're playing a weak team. We're not taking it serious. Save your hard-earned cash. No, Leslie, I used to say that years ago. But if the footballing fan now, if the penny's not dropped now, knowing that the majority, 99.9% of clubs neglect cup competitions, then it's the fans' fault. They must know now that very few clubs treat it seriously. As I say, Newcastle, I keep saying it, and it doesn't give me any great inner feeling that I'm bumming Newcastle. But Eddie Howe hasn't been a sheep, he's been a shepherd. And he's led the team and says, no, we're going to play here, and we're going to play again in the cup, and we're going to play again in the league. Although it's the top flight in the world, the Premier, and we're still sitting fifth. And I know European football is, very important to us, and the City, but we're going to do it in the cup as well. And lo and behold, they're 2-0 up against the Arsenal, and they're going to get in the final. Take this, because they will get in the final. Arsenal's not going to beat them up there. Steve Daly says, if I was a fringe player, given the chance to shine, I would have chased every ball, tackled hard, and ran myself into the ground. These lads today look totally uninterested. I mentioned that, Stevie, I do what they call the Legends Lounge, and I host that, and I actually mentioned that. Any lad, well, saying that, I thought Gilbert McCabe worked hard. Gilbert had a shot or two. I thought they worked hard and did well. I thought there was a few good moves. Don't forget, you don't really see these kids. So I thought those two, I thought they done all right. I'm going to say they were brilliant, but I thought they caught my attention. Steve Dale says, sorry, but I can't accept the poor comments on we're concentrating on promotion work. Steve, look at this every year. Reality check. We aren't good enough to be promoted. There's far better teams ahead of us. So we should have fielded a strong team, don't, etc. Blasted away into the fourth round, and a bit of silverware is long overdue. Steve, as I say, people say, Newcastle United no won a trophy domestically for 30, 40, 50 years, whatever. And they haven't. They won the UEFA Cup when Bob Kerr was the captain. I know Bob very well, lovely man, Scottish international player, Newcastle captain. Was that 69? Was it 69 where he won the UEFA Cup? And then he won some 2 Bob Cup that Disney can't remember the name of it. They've not won domestic competition. But now they're setting a song and saying, we're in Europe and all that, but we're going to go for this League Cup and possibly the FA Cup. But us, the Borough, one cup 150 years doesn't matter. We've won a cup, doesn't matter. Concentrate on the league, getting promotion. It's a cop-out. It's a great cop-out because you get beat. You see, we played a weakened team. Play your strongest team and get beat, then you get a bit of stick. But today we're playing opponents who's in the same division. If we're playing a Sutton United or whoever, Salford lads, whoever, then you might play a weak team, but nah. I think Newcastle United will win it. Isaac is the best striker in the world at the minute, in my opinion. Scott, he is a very good player. He's pacey, he's direct, He scores goals. He's missed a few and all. Sitters, but he will get goals because he's fast as well and his work rate's amazing. So full strong side, fourth round, but silver long overdue. Home atmosphere has been terrible this season, Bernie. Away fans are the best in the league, but home fans too negative, and that goes to the players, I think. So astrophobia, I think it says 88. He said the fans are flat, that gets on to the players. I think they go hand in hand, it's like tandem. You know, the players do the business, the fans get really up for it, get behind the side, and both of them reap the rewards. But the minute I thought the crowd were flat, the performance was more than flat. Steve Perry, totally Ian Wright rhythmical. Team, Carrick and Wood won, out sack the pair now, sack the pair now, out. So Steve's saying get Carrick and Wood get out, sack the pair of them now. But the players, Steve, would you sack every player after today then? Because that was the worst performance I've seen for a long time. That was desperate. As I say, boring. You go to football to be entertained, to be excited. We were boring. What's happened to McGree? Looks a shell of a player he was. Michael Webster. Hi, Webber. Do you know what, Webber? McGree, when he first came in the team, breath of fresh air, great left foot, great work ethic. Scored some wonder goals. Scored a great goal down at Norwich. It was a worldie, like a World Cup goal. He's an international player and played in World Cups. And his first year I thought, wow, he's the best player in the squad. He's got the lot. He's got it in abundance. The last year and a bit, way off the radar. Doesn't look fit. Doesn't look confident. Can't nail down a permanent position. He's always got injuries, niggles, but he never gets them for Australia. He always gets them for Borough, and then he'll fly out to Australia. I don't get that. I think there's more than meets the eye with McGree. McGree's in at the minute today. It's not because he's earned the place to get in. He's just got in because of this rotational thing. But I think players should fight for the position. If I'm the number one centre forward and banging in goals and working my ass off, I should keep my position. But these days, somebody else will come in and get handed your position. Despite you doing well, you're left out. Have a rest, son. We'll play this one. As I say, it's nonsense. But again, we all know it's down to the data. That's another thing Tony Mowbray talked. We talk about data and people saying, oh, he needs a rest. And people's telling the coach they need so-and-so needs a rest. I've looked at the data. No, you should drop him. He needs to be... And these are guys, I don't even know what the guys that's telling the coaches, the modern day coaches, I don't even know what their qualifications are. They've never played, they've never managed, they've never coached, and yet they control football clubs up and down the country. Astonishing, isn't it? You can see why Wilder and Warnock at Middlesbrough, when a young whippersnapper comes in, and I'm not knocking Kieran Scott, he's just like all the rest of the directors of football. He comes in to do a job, and Pookie, I think he was the man that signed Pookie, who was a very good striker for Norwich. But he signs him, then he gets a job, and then he's in there, and Warnock and Wilder had never worked with a young guy who they don't even know if he had them, who's never played or managed or coached. He's telling them who's coming in, who's going. Can you imagine Warnock and Wilder taking that? Well, they never. Both of them got sacked. But I can understand that totally. I'm of an age when I think, you wouldn't take that. Some new spunky walks through the door. You don't know him for Adam and he's telling you who to pick, who to let go. He's going, no, you can't play it. What are you on about? Get your head a shake, man. Go and get a job in whatever. Marks and Spencer's, go and do that. What are you trying to tell me? I've been round the block, I've got 1,000 games under my belt, 1,500 games, and you're telling me about the game that I've loved and been brought up by as a young teenager. And that's what happens. That's Speakman up the road at Sunderland, but he's never managed, coached, so he's the pal of the millionaire owner. As I say, listen to the interview Monday. I say, I don't get any, you don't have to listen to it. I'm just saying, if you're a Borough fan and a Tony Mowbray fan, don't miss it. 2 hours yet. I'm letting the lot run. I'm not editing it. I'm just playing it raw as it was said. And I just think it's inspiring to listen to Mugger, what he's been through. He's passed in the clubs, coaching at Ipswich, all the clubs he's managed in England, the support he got when he hit health issues. It's amazing, really great. He talks about Burham being at games recently. Darren Dye says, the lack of leaders is alarming and unbelievable. It wasn't addressed in the summer. Don't leave the season's over. There's definitely some unrest on that side. Dieng, McGree, Hackney, amongst others, have fallen off a cliff. Well, let me look. Dieng, well, yeah, he's disappeared. They reckon he's got a hip injury. I don't know, true, untrue, whatever. But yeah, he's not been at his best. McGree is a shadow of the player that arrived. He's never progressed. First year, great. Next year, started downwards spiral, and he's just continued going down. And Hackney, Hackney, couple injuries this season in the team. Yeah, his passing's been very, very iffy. Never made any impression today. Like laugh, never really any either. Probably just because the team was so bad, to be fair to them. But that doesn't mean they're unrest. They might just be off form, but you need backup to that, and I don't see any backup. No fight, no heart, no passion, total lack of leaders. Stuart Bradley. I says all this earlier and in the lounges. That's what I seen. No fight, no passion, no heart, no desire, and acceptance for going out the cup. Doesn't matter. That's the word in the street. Fans don't seem to bother. They're happy with concentrating on the league. Doesn't matter. It's a bad vibe, and it eventually gets into the players as well. It's a bad vibe going about, and when they turn out, there's 14,000 there. Somebody says 79. They looked about 14 for me. So you know right away, not a great crowd, not a great atmosphere. Nobody's really bothered. We're tossing it off, shadow team, whatever. Apparently Morris was doing some running on the pitch after the game. If fit, would you start next week, even though he's been out for a while? Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I would give him a game. Who's that from? Scott 94. Yeah, without a doubt. Morris, youngish lad. Why not? Yeah, get him in there. Should have signed Crooks. Steve Perry. Well, don't get me started on the Crooks one. So last January, I says at the time, I'll say it again. Last January, we let Rodgers go. In January window, when we're trying to get for the promotion, we cash in last day before the window closes. It gets banked, he goes, we'll play it down. It comes up, Matt Crooks wants to leave, wants to go to America, wants to do this, wants to do that. We all bow and say, yeah, on you go, Matt, despite him in the contract. Another player goes, so we're 2 players down. Matt Crooks would have gave his height, he'd have gave us the odd goal, and he blows a gasket, but he gives you a good 60 minutes, or come off the bench, he'd be good. But we let him go, we bowed to it. Okay, let the family go. Although, loads of people want to go abroad. Loads of people have got families and want to leave, but they don't let them. Not just Middlesbrough down the country. But we bow it. On you go, Matt. You go over there. Doesn't work out. You're back. He's back at home. I said to him, he was in the lounge a month ago, 3 weeks ago. He was my guest. And I said to his face, I said, I'll tell you what, big man, there's no way I'd let you go last January. No chance. I said, I know you get a family there, but I wouldn't have let you go. You've got a contract. You can go in the summer, but you ain't going while we're chasing a promotional position and getting out of top 6. We never made it, but I'm not surprised. Matt White said, I see Isaiah Jones, earlier for Luton, Burnley, and he was like a breath of fresh air. He beat 3-4 players, almost scored a brilliant goal. He was positive going forward rather than negative passing back. He was totally different and fit in really well, which makes me wonder if he was told to play negative and passing it back by Carrick. Retention of the ball. A lot of teams do it, and we certainly do it. Keep the ball, keep retention of the ball, get the opposition tired, grind them down. But we're too slow and deliberate, and it's boring. When Jones first came in, Carrick wasn't there. When Jones came in, breath of fresh air, direct, skillful, Doak-like, not as tough as Doak, bit taller than Doak. But the same attitude, direct, beating players, getting balls in, scoring goals. And then it all evaporated. After a year and a half, totally evaporated. Confidence shot, kept retention of the ball, lost the bottle and will to go and drive at players and take them on. And I don't know if that's his place or it was Carrick's to encourage him. If you get stuck, you turn and you keep retention of the ball. You start again, they call it. So you turn, rather than go that way and give him the ball away, you turn, get your full back, he gives it in the usual. So I don't know who's to blame, but his game did disappear and go down the plug hole. Maybe a few reasons. Lack of confidence. I think he had mental health issues. I think that was out there. I sympathise with that greatly. So, and obviously the biggest thing to knock his confidence was don't come in. Don't come in. Every week get man of the match, the plaudits, creating things, scoring goals, getting bummed up for Scotland international stage, and he's sitting in the shadow like a mushroom. So he must have been feeling it. You would feel it. I'd feel, anybody would feel it. Any human being. Your human side kicks in, you think, I'm not going to get in here. As I John's been saying, I've got a few years contract I signed recently, last year. This kid's walked in, just set the head of a light, looks unbelievably good. I'm never going to get my place back. So 5 million for Jones is good if we spend it. As a fan, I'm talking as a fan. If we don't spend it, then it's not good. You said what you want. You read it out. We have a pussy in the Man City defence. Leslie, you totally lost me. Is it a cat on the field? Is that what you're referring to? I'm not watching it. Obviously, I'm on here. Tony Mowbray for manager. Steve Perry. No, Michael Carrick's the coach. There's no managers. Mugger would be the coach, wouldn't be the manager. No, listen. People say, oh, Mugger's been at the games. I mentioned it on the podcast. I talked to him about that. But it's more or less invitations. And he lives local. And he's still not here, there and everywhere because he's still got one or two things to clear up, which is inevitable, hopefully next week. Gets it all clear and then he's on his way. But Tony Mowbray, he ain't come back to Middlesbrough. Would I come back? No. Would I want Mugger back? No. Why? Because he's been here. I don't like people returning. I don't think it's a good thing. When Mugger was here, he had a rough ride, as in no real money, didn't have the financial backing and clout that previous managers had, and yet Mugger's the only legend from this area that did manage the club in recent years. Well, over the last 10, 15 years, whatever. But he wasn't given a great deal, and ended up inevitably get sacked. So I love Mugger, as I say, pal, former captain, respect him greatly. But if I was asked Mugger to come back to Middlesbrough, I wouldn't want Mugger. I admire him too much to come back again and maybe he gets dealt the wrong hand again and then he fails and gets sacked. No, I think it's lazy recruitment. I would take Karanka back in the heartbeat, ha. I'm glad you put ha. Karanka, he would really entertain, wouldn't he? Everyone seems to be picking Carrick's faults now. I still have faith in him for Stephen on. Another one's Astrophobia, yeah. I'd take Karanka back. So he's joking about that. The other guy's saying he's still in Carrick. Look, Carrick is still the man right at this minute. Of course he is. I'm not going to sit here and say get Carrick out, get so-and-so in. No, I've got too much respect. Carrick we're 5th in the league. If we were 15th and we play like that today, bye Michael. I think everybody would be up. I think that's inevitable, that would happen. But he's not, he's 5th in the league. Yeah, we've been beat with some duff side. We've not beat some duff sides. In certain games we've been disastrous. But we go to Portsmouth next week. They're 4th bottom. They're a poor team. Go there, get all 3 points, back on track. Metals back on track. Everybody's hunky-dory. They forget about today. I won't forget about today because I like cup competitions. I loved the Arsenal-Newcastle game last week. I loved the Tottenham-Liverpool game. Wow, exciting. Footballing teams attacking each other. Loved it. Why can't we be part of that? Once upon a time we were, but now we toss it off. Oh, we've won one cup in 150 years. It doesn't matter. No, it does matter. Matt Ranson says, just joined your session, Bernie. May have missed similar comments. Okay, tears. I felt there's something in the background regarding the selection today. Priority is to keep momentum. Well, we've upset the momentum today, which was ditched today with Azaz and dropped. Carrick's demeanour at his post-match interview worries me that something is afoot. Well, I don't listen, I don't watch Michael Carrick's interviews. I've no desire to listen to modern players and managers and coaches. Why? Because they've nothing to say. They don't tell me anything I've not seen. They might tell me something that I have seen, but they don't want to admit it. But you've watched it about your knowledge of watching it and saying there's something afoot. That's what you're worried. Well, do you know what's afoot? The January window, because Michael wanted much saying it. That's probably why his demeanour's. He's looking at that performance today. Out 2 cups now. Everything's geared on the league. There's no excuses now. There's no cop-outs. Oh, we've got another cup coming up or another. No, this is the league now. This is the bread and butter. This is the real serious part of the season now. For January to May. And if we don't finish top 6, it's failure. It's failure. And if we sell Latty Laugh, as I mentioned at the top, Latty Laugh and we've no saying dope, he's not a property. But if people like Latty Laugh go, then we're looking for trouble. We're looking for more trouble. I say, did we deserve to put out the cup today? Yeah. Did we put half a shift in? No, we didn't put any shift in. We didn't even put half a shift in. No shift. Did we deserve to get dumped out of the cup? Yeah. Did we deserve to get dumped out of the cup against Stoke? Yes. Yes. And that's when it annoys me. Not because we get knocked out, the manner in which we get knocked out. No fight, desire. Nobody's wanted to. There was no tackles today. It was like a training ground game. You used to get 11v11 behind closed doors, and the managers at the time would say, look, no heavy challenge, you don't want to injure each other. That's what it was like today. Pass with no tackles. Samuel Elliott says, same issues continue to haunt us in the team. Everyone can see the issues, and yet still it seems Carrick can't. Our home form is completely unacceptable. Home form's been poor. Yeah, I agree. Well, it is the stats, and if you look at the table and the home performances, we have huffed and puffed against very, very average teams. Teams that we expect to beat and we don't. We've no divine right just to go out and walk out with a swagger and say we're going to get 3 points today. We need to put up a fight for it, but a lot of games will be away under par. But today, we never turned up. Everybody was at the game of day. Everybody ran about me. There was a fair few running about me. Not me, but yeah. Just some of the comments now. This is garbage, boring. I'm off for a drink. I'm going to the toilet. It was just like everybody was making an excuse to get away for what they was witnessing. And as I say, there was a right few going, just referee blow the whistle. They've held the board up 2 and they're going, thank God for that. Was it 2 or 3 minutes? 2 or 3 minutes, thank God for that. Oh, we don't want extra time, we don't want penalties, we're here, Baltic, and this is rubbish. And it's not a good vibe, and I'm going to the players. Mark says, I love Mugger to return to the Borough, but in what capacity, I don't know, maybe a number 2, as he's been through quite a lot. Health-wise recently, he's sought out a defence, that's for sure. Yeah, exactly. Look, Mugger, I'm sure he'll be back in the game. And I'm sure it won't be Middlesbrough. Daniel, hold on. Evening Bernard from Blackbeard, I love the name. Evening Bernie, do you think Carrick is a man to lead the club to the promised land? Personally, after watching his team for quite some time now, I am bored stiff watching his low energy football. I think Blackbeard, that Michael Carrick can get us into top 6, providing nobody goes in the window after Jones is gone. If Latty Laugh or excuse me, Dope goes, I think he'll be struggling. We'll be struggling. I don't think we'll make it. And the other bit, yeah, we still might get there, born the public. Michael Carrick, first season, been here just over 2 years, 2.5. First season amazing, best football I've witnessed for 35 years. Brilliant, settled team week in, week out. We knew who was playing where, we knew what football was getting served up. We were beating teams for fun. Gerrans was bombing up right. Akpom was banging in goals for fun. Ramsey was there. Archer, lone players, but really set the header alight. Now, Commy's injured. What's his injury? Don't know. Diane's injured. What's up? McGree dips in and out. There's just so many bits that don't ham us together. But a dysfunctional team. That's a word. Dysfunctional. Chop and change a team. Look, we spoke about the young lad today, Hamilton. You know, didn't really get in the game. Didn't take on a man. I'm not going to go at the kid. He's still raw here, still settling in. But you know, you think if any, well, on the left's is still an issue, isn't there? And the right's an issue if we don't play Doak. Total contempt for FA Cup. Should have fielded a strong team to get further in the Cup. Steve, when you look at the team, but as I say, there was Glover, who's obviously third choice, but he's in cause of injuries and 2 injuries to keep us. Big Clatty's experience, Edmondson's experience, Dick Steele's fairly experienced, McGree's certainly experienced in international, and Big Buzzog, he's fairly experienced as well. So it was half and half, but the team, the dysfunctional performance was scary. I thought we'd turn back to Halloween again. Some of you like to say, sick of hearing the same nonsense every year when we get knocked out of the Cup. Concentrate in the league, bollocks. This is with Samuel Elliott. A good cup run can boost confidence. Well, why? If I think that as a former player, you think that as a fan, and I'm a fan now. We all think that. There's loads of people think that way. Why does nobody change it really? Give French players a chance to show they have fire in their belly. Don't understand anyone who's happy to be out of it. I don't think any first team, if I was like to laugh, I'd want to start today. Why? Because I want more goals. I want my goal tally to go up. I want my price tag to go up. I want my confidence to go up. Hackney, yeah, I'm sure Hackney wants to play. They all do. But this rotational and the sports science slot with all the data, they control more than you, the fan, thinks. The sports scientists, and I talk about it, listen to Tony Mowbray interview, keep back to it, we talk about this. The sports scientists will go in, if you're Carrick and I'm a sports scientist, I'll give me all my data and say, hi Michael, I've looked through all the data, so-and-so ran. He's not running as many miles as he did last month, and he's got a wee strain on his right leg, and you know, and that's the way it goes. I would advise maybe you should leave him out today. Your man Brendan Rodgers at Celtic, he made a big comment last week. He was asked about it. He says, look, I listen to the sports science, I respect it, but it lies with me. I finally make the decision. So you can listen to advice, but he's still saying, no, thanks for the advice, but I'm doing it my way. And that's the way it should be. Because the coach is going to get sacked. The sports scientist ain't going to get sacked. You're going to get sacked. Dan Belazer running stats will be on a par with over 50s Walton League. Blackburn, that's harsh. Harsh. Kev Naylor says, strange, says pre-match he takes the competition seriously. Then he plays a weak team. Then we will go 1-0 down. Behind, puts the big guns on. Contradictory. If you aren't asked, then start with the big boys. Don't wait till we're chasing the game. A wasted afternoon. Fair comment, Kev. You put it nicely. Yeah, if you're not interested in it and we're going to beat 1-0, like you laugh, just see it out, sit at the bench, get wrapped up, go and have a bath. Hackney, go and have a bath, so but we're out the competition, it doesn't matter. But then we try to get it back, don't we? Interesting Carrick comment in Teesside Live story tonight on Doak's absence. Asked about Doak's absence and others, we made them the changes today for different reasons. Matt Ranson. No, I remember Mick Ronson, he was the guitarist with David Bowie, Spiders for Mars, but this is Matt Ranson, not Ronson. Michael Carrick was asked, according to Mark on the Teesside Live, that Doak's absence and others, well, we made them the changes today for different reasons. Matt Smith says, good evening, Bernie, hiya Mark. It was like a repeat of the league game. They played with a low block, but we never moved the ball. Quick enough. We need to get the defence turned and the ball in behind them. Too many sideways and backwards passes today with no tempo. Looking forward to the Mugger podcast. Mark, yeah, Mark's, we're here. Where are we? We're here. Smith and Friends Estate. That's Mark, sponsor. Yeah, Mark, listen to it. I know you're a big Borough fan and love the team, travel the country watching them all, and I know you're a fan of Tony Mowbray's like everyone is that supports Borough or other clubs. Listen to it, it's really inspirational. It is. He's a great human being, Mugger. I say he's got morals, principles, standards, he's honest. I says that to him, a man of honesty, integrity, principles. How have you lasted so long in the game? With all those traits, he shouldn't be in the game of football. Steve Gibson has to be concerned. Timmy Leach. I don't know if Steve Gibson can answer that, but I'm sure Steve Gibson will be thinking, hold on, what's going on? It's not looking too good at the minute. Steve Daly says, if he had Janino or Ravanelli, would he rest him? No chance. I don't know the answer, but those two wouldn't take it lightly. I think he'd be knocking his door down. As I keep saying, we take players off in this country when they've scored 2 or get them off. We don't want them getting a hat-trick. They do that, don't they? Did Lucky laugh at a hat-trick this year? They take them off. But yet you look at Ronaldo, who travels the world, or top international player for many years, still is with Portugal despite his age. Messi, travelling the world, loads of journeys, play every game, never get rested, play every game despite their age, play every game. Very seldom get taken off. Why is that? Surely they must suffer from fatigue and tiredness, especially at their age now, but they play every game. And I just think it's a cop-out, and it's... Yeah, I think there's certain things you can take out of it, but I think the majority is a load of nonsense. Eddie Howe said, consistent team, what is Carrick doing? Eddie Howe said a consistent team, Steve Daly. No, Michael Carrick is quite clearly, after his first season when it was the best football I've ever witnessed, and Michael Carrick was the guy that was producing it, we keeping a settled team, we were amazing, brilliant, loved it. And the players that's out could take it, because if the team's doing so well, which they were, and entertaining and scoring goals, then why would you change it? And that was Michael Carrick's best season. But the other thing, the flip side of the coin with Michael Carrick, our defence hasn't improved one iota in his tenure. But Eddie Howe, as I say, Newcastle, and I'll keep bumming it up. Today when we lost a goal, I thought, fine, we deserve it. And I'm a Borough fan, and I want to win cups. But I know we're half-hogging it. And if you half-hog something, you deserve to fail and falter. Eddie Howe's went out seriously and played the majority of first-team players in the League Cup. And he's one step away from the final at Wembley. That could have been us. You get a home tie, lesser opposition, you stumble your way into the quarters, and then before you know it, you're at Wembley. But no, we've won it once, 150 years, doesn't matter. John Eustace just keeps out doing character and tactics, just like a few other managers, Colin Fryatt. Yeah, but your bogey team, Blackburn. Was it 1-0 this season, early doors? Stephen Millard says, why doesn't Carrick have a plan B? His subs are always slight for Lake. No change in system, therefore no change in result. First sign of madness, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. Yeah. You're referring to the Albert Einstein's quote. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Yeah, I'm a man of quotes. I like quotes. Turned in the day, and I seen Big Mugger. He was in the reception. Tony Mowbray was at the game, and I looked at my watch. I said, "Oh, bang on one. Punctuality is the thief of time." Oscar Wilde. That's one of my favourite quotes of Oscar Wilde. But yeah, you're right, Albert Einstein. Insanity is doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results. We keep messing about the back, we keep conceding goals. We should have conceded a goal today. How that lad missed it. Dear God, our keeper Glover's lying in a heap after giving the ball to the forward. The forward goes round him. The goal's at his mercy. He's about 3 yards out. It took a wee bounce up, but he could still kill it and put it in net, and he missed it. Colin said, Micah Hamilton gets played in his better position and had a nightmare. He just cuts inside if he can't take on the left back. I just think the lad's lacking confidence. He knows he's a second string player. He knows he ain't getting in the first team anytime soon. So his confidence levels won't be super high. Hello, Billy Jocelyn. What a disaster result. Carrick has lost the plot now. That's for Mohammed. Mohammed gets involved regular. So he's far from happy. Gary Swan said, Bernie, I get you. I just wish I knew this 20 years up the Borough. Oh, so Bernie, I get you. So what I'm saying, I think that's what he means. I wish I got you 20 years earlier. I'm not happy with Carrick. Bizarre results. Tony Mowbray held talks with West Brom. Buzz Bodovic. Borough have no chance of getting through the playoffs if they manage to get top six. Poor unit, no spine in the team. Well, that would be my fear. You know, if we were to play somebody, and obviously it's hypothetical, But if we get into the top 6 and we play Burnley for talking's sake, Burnley's only let about 10 goals in the league. Yeah, possibility of breaking them down, but we can't keep our back door shut. So they would just say, shot, but no, we'll try and nick a goal. Yeah, I think the playoffs would be very difficult to progress, but our aim is at the minute, and we're still in a good position and sitting pretty to finish top 6. Rumours are we are looking at Travers from Bournemouth, but we can't get him until after Tuesday because he needs to play as the first choice keeper is out. Okay, that's for Scott 94. Rumours are Dieng back to QPR, Latif to Leeds, Barry from Villa in, Jones in for the posh. That was from Blackbeard. Oh no, he's talking about Dan Belazer. Oh no, it is for Blackbeard. Darren Smith just says, hi everyone. Blackburn are unbeaten in 6 games against Middlesbrough. Didn't know that, Mohammed. Adam Forshaw joined Blackburn today. Adam Forshaw, you remember him? Blast for the past, played for Middlesbrough. Sort of went unnoticed, couple of good games, ended up going to Leeds. Was it Leeds United who went to? Played a bit piece there. I still don't know if he's a good player or not. You bypass my question, you say, in one breath, say what you want, and I will react. I says, and you bottled it also that his name in the Man City defence today, he's called Pussy. Check out the team, you bottled it. I didn't, okay. I don't know there's a guy called Pussy in Manchester. Plays for Man City. Alright, Pussy plays Man City. Hey, there was a bit, have you ever read some of the German names in the World Cup? Dear me, Leslie. Oh. And do you remember Big Shitu? Who did he play for? Was it Palace? I remember a young reporter was reporting on it, and Shitu was playing against Newcastle. I think he was centre half Shitu. And the young reporter says his number, big number 4, unlucky there, or good tackle for number 4. He didn't want to say Shitu. Oh, there's loads of teams. What was the one at Sunderland? They had the fullbacks. Oh, what was he called? Oh, there's been a few crackers. Few cracking names. But if that's the names, then we get away with it, don't we? Rumours are we are looking at Travers from Bournemouth, but we can't get him to... Yeah, I've read that, sorry. Danny Shitu, that was his name, Danny Shitu. It's his name. Matt West said, Jones is utter Tommy Tip. Rhythmical. Gone backwards, end of time. Time for it to move on. Yeah, I agree it was time to move on. I don't think the lad was ever going to turn it round now at Middlesbrough. He's done his bit. Been here 3-4 years. First couple of years was very good and then he went off the radar. Steve Davis says, I remember playing for the Borough as a 13-year-old. I was an attacking midfielder winger, but I was told to cam it and pass inside once I get to the halfway line. What the F? I'm talking 40 years ago, so times haven't changed. Yeah, well, I don't know who was your coaches and that, but so you remember playing for the Borough at 13. Attack midfielder, stroke winger, told to come and pass inside. Nah. In my day, the wingers were taught, if I played left half when I was younger, left midfield, my job was to give it to the outside left and he would go and attack the full-back and you would go and support him. That was back then, but I'm bound to your knowledge, what you get put through as a kid. Mugger's too good for the Borough job. That's for Edgar Andy. Gary Samantha says, didn't work for Mourinho on his second stint at Chelsea. Managers shouldn't give back. I'm not a fan of managers or players returning. I've seen it numerous times with Middlesbrough. Players returning. A lot of them are pals, by the way. But I don't think it works. Jones admitted in his podcast last year he hates football. His heart isn't in it. And also he spends all his spare time in London because he isn't that keen on up here. Astrophobia. Well, I never listened to that, but hey, look, because you're involved in a sport, it doesn't mean you love it. It's like you going to your work. A lot of people go to work to get paid, to pay for mortgages and cars and food and whatever, look after your kids and uniforms for your kids for school. Doesn't mean you love your job. You have to do it. Some players don't know anything outside of football and then they get roped in it, and then when it becomes really serious and professional and there's money and the stakes are greater, the pressure builds up and some players can't accept that. Well, we've got 5 million from nothing, so it works out well for both parties. So Blackbeard saying, I think he's talking about Jones. Yeah, Jones came for peanuts, didn't he? Had nothing from Tooting, somebody Tooting in London, on the league team. So we made 5 million, but I don't know if we'll spend it. Bring our character back. Shut up, Mohammed, away, man. Blackburn could have scored 4 today, and Dick Steele pushed player over in the box. That was one call, and the Borough fans been on their droves. If it was the reverse, we quite easily, it should have been a penalty. I thought it was a penalty, but the guy was through, ready to, he pulled his right foot back, ready to hit it, and he's inside he's about 10 yards for goal. There's no way he would dive and cheat there when he's ready to hit it. Apparently Liverpool have accepted a fee from Doak from Celtic. Trevor, and you've got a smiley face, Celtic would not pay 20-25 for Doak. You're joking. Celtic, I don't know how they got on the day. I seriously don't know how they got on the day. I heard it was 1-1 the last time. I don't know the final score, but they've more or less wrapped a league up there. Why would they want to spend 25 in Doak? They don't need Doak to win the league because they're going to win that. The Rangers manager's always going to get a sack anytime soon. Probably next defeat will be gone. In Europe, Celtic are never going to win it. So they can't. There's no point in building for Europe. It's about domestic competitions, and Celtic's still flying high. So, but I don't think, I've never known Celtic spend 20-25 million. No chance. Jason Pipe says, evening Bernie, we play better away from home. I agree with that. That's because teams let us play football, but at home we just don't know how to break teams down because Carrick doesn't know how to change it. I'm sure Carrick's played with one of the biggest club sides in the world. He's played with some fabulous players. He played under the best manager, Sir Alec, one of the most decorated managers. He must have learnt everything. Saying that Fergie did change things instantly and right away and didn't mess about. And he was ruthless. I don't know if Carrick's ruthless, I don't know. But you need that as a manager, and in life you need to change things if need be. So Carrick must know how to change it. Maybe he doesn't want to. Look at Postecoglou, sticking to his guns, playing the attacking, free-flowing, entertaining football, Hollywood football, amazing to watch. I'd watch Tottenham if all the teams come on the telly and I had a choice only one team, I'd watch Tottenham every week. Why? Because I know they're going to entertain, they're going to score goals, they're exciting, they're free-flowing, they're fearless, but I also know defensively they're flawed and hopeless, and they're going to concede a boatload of goals. But isn't it encouraging that some teams just go for the jugular, steady fanning about the back, boring the pants off the public? Of course it is. You pay to get entertained. Not today. That's not entertained today. That's not entertainment. We roped a lot of people in today who have not been. And I know that within the lounges, because loads of people come out, oh, Benny, can you sign this, can you get a picture? And I'm thinking, these people see me every week. I'm at every game. So that indicated that these people, obviously there was discounts today because it was a cup. Those people were there, might be a one-off. Maybe they can't afford to come, sympathise with that greatly. But this is a chance to rope them in, to say, hey, this is what you're missing. This is how good we are. But they must have been calling, dear God, I'm glad I came to the cup when I didn't spend a season ticket. Wasn't that tripe? Because they think we play like every game, which we don't. Some games were terrific, some games were exciting. We scored a boatload of goals, like 21 goals in 4 games, not so long ago. That's amazing. But then you flip it over to this. As I say, the only consistency has been inconsistent. He started his career with them. I can't see him going at, he won't go to Celtic. So Celtic has 20 million plus to spend. Colin, shut up. They could, I bet you 5-6 of the players didn't even cost that. Dick Steele was the only one with any heart. Excuse me, Neil Henderson, need a drink. Should be finished. Those 11 players that started today are only League 2 standard. We don't have the backup players when we have these players out injured. Jason Pipe. Paul Ronald says, Doak will not go to Celtic, just read it on Liverpool page. Doak days he wants Premier Football. Listen, Doak was already at Celtic as a young boy. Why should he go back to Celtic? They got rid of him. I'm hearing Liverpool don't want Doak, cup tie, just in case it's transfer. That's probably more the truth. That's probably more the truth, Paul. Liverpool, they're within the right to say Middlesbrough probably got to chief exec. Don't want to play in Dolt. He's our player. You know, clubs are looking at him. He's on the radar. Clubs are looking 20 odd million, and we want to cash in. We don't want him cup tied because that would be, yeah, you want to keep him as attractive as possible. And I'm not being cup tied is attractive. Zero temper from the team today until Hackney came on. I didn't really see Hackney in it, to be honest. Chris Holman. West Ham was really flat. It was. FA Cup has gone, but let's keep behind the boys up the borough. Nice. Carrick has gone as far as he can, belittling the cup and fans with that side and performance. Who was that from? That was for Tony Smith. Paul McLean says, Bernie, all I can say is we were predictable, especially more so at home currently, and as flat as a pancake. Catherine Ann Brooks says, sick of Dave Sanders, who took all in the South Stand. Get well soon. Yeah, get well soon, Dave. Let's hope. Excuse me. Let's hope things are looking up. And Steve Daly says, we need Linehan back to be captain in control, poor defence. Listen, excuse me. I've overshot the runway. I'm 12 minutes over. Thanks for getting involved. Sorry for these. I'll read these out on Monday. This Monday, you can listen. I've mentioned it throughout. Tony Mowbray, Captain Fantastic. One of the greatest individuals you'll ever meet. He's as passionate as ever. The fire's burning again. He's ready to get back into the game of football. I spent 2 hours with him at his home with an intimate chat like pals do. Because I think players open up more when they're talking to players. I'm not a reporter. I'm a player. I understand the game. I've been behind the scenes. I've played it. I've got step, da. So I think I always find that when I'm talking to players or former players or managers that we all speak the same language and we feel more, more intimate because we've did the same job. So anyway, thank you very much. If you've not seen the Borough game, and there is highlights tonight, I would advise don't watch it alone. It's scary. See you later. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry, this... Oh, the camera just fell. New game. Dear goodness. Are we off? Are we on?